We're doing it. We are doing it to it. Doing it to it. Shout out to Discovery Zone for the intro. Trump is back on Twitter. CJB goes mental on AG. And more news, my friends. CJB. Say what's up in the chat. I started two different ones, but this is the one. Happy Friday. I'm sorry, Saturday, 11/19/2022. We close out the Shabbat. All right, let's get into it. We're going through some interesting times. Hang in there. All right, my friends, thank you for joining us. It is good and it is pleasant that we are here on this eve. We have some things to go through. First off, he's back is trending. Donald J. Trump back on Twitter. Elon Musk is doing so much to bring back freedom of speech. I've said this once and I'll say it again. The only billionaires who are here to free up humankind and that were organically created because of their genius are Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark, fictional Marvel characters made up by a certain people. What does Elon Musk have to say about it? I feel like it's a freaking a school kid gossiping. Elon Musk retweets Twitter servers right now. Trump and World Cup. P.S. I don't think anybody gives a crap about the World Cup. Although it does bring me to Israeli interviewer asks singer about Qatar crimes against humanity. World Cup anthem singer leaves Israeli interview when asked about Qatar human rights. You're rude, Colombian star Maluma tells public broadcaster's reporter as he walks out when pushed to respond to Doha's poor record. Look at this guy. What's wrong? As if an Israeli has any right to question somebody about human rights abuses, my friends. I'm sorry. That is just ludicrous. They're not gonna.
You know, I must ask you, Shakira and Dua Lipa refused to take part in this World Cup due to the bad records of Qatar regarding human rights. And obviously people think, what? Maluma, don't you have problem with human rights violation on this country?
Yeah, but it's something that I can't resolve. I just came here to enjoy life, enjoy soccer. The party of soccer is not actually something that I have to be involved with. I'm here enjoying my music and beautiful life playing soccer too.
But can you?
That's a pretty nice response to that. It's a handsome fellow. No. Let's see how it continues.
You understand just people who gonna say that by the very presence of you here, you are like helping whitewashing.
I understand. Do I have to answer that question?
Okay. No, but I'm just asking that people are gonna ask.
You don't do that.
What the problem? I mean,
You're rude.
I'm rude? Yeah. Why I'm rude, Maluma? Yeah. I don't think. I think that this is what people say. This is what people think.
Look at his face. That face, dog. Oh, boy, is where we exit. Oh, I'm sorry with the buddy. Yeah, that was rude as shit. Video contains content from FIFA. Well, first of all, Qatar and Israel are buddy-buddy. Jared Kushner going and making the Abraham Accords. We're making peace with the United Arab Emirates. They've been friends and working together forever. That's Jared Kushner making peace between that, which is it being public, so they didn't have to do it behind closed doors. Was there any Palestinians present for the peace talks? No. Ooh, this is in the news. New York police arrest 2 men, seize weapons over, quote, threat to community. FBI recover illegal pistol, 30 round, 30 pieces of silver, 30 shackles of shame. The price paid for Judas. On the cross he was slain. I lost my camera for a second. I'm sure they're coming after me. Large knife and schmotzy armband as suspects detained at Penn Station. Sounds pretty. God, look how culty this is. Look at this star. At Penn Station is a cult as shit. It's set up like a church. But look at that. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. An 8-pointed star. Oh, the symbol of Aquarius. And then a bunch of 6-pointed stars. 3 of them. 666 to get in to Penn Station. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The 12 constellations of the zodiac there. Yeah, Penn Station, I mean, just look at it. They have the constellations, I think, painted on the roof. The roof. I can't see any comments. Oh, Levi Richard, Greenblatt having a conniption, like a drama queen about Trump having free speech. Shut it down. The most shock is back. People, the chosen one. Pulpil is a better way to spell people. Peephole. Peephole. Boop kiss. Double square 8-point. The octagon. Yeah, so we'll have to stay tuned. Law enforcement in New York City on Saturday arrest 2 men and seize weapons for what they call a developing threat to the Jewish community. The authorities seized a large hunting knife, an illegal Glock 17, and a 30-round magazine. A Nazi armband was reportedly found with the weapons. Dog. Sounds suspicious. The Metropolitan Transit Authority said 2 of its officers had apprehended the suspects late Friday night after having been notified of the threat. The authorities said in a statement the officers had found the knife on the suspects. Police said they were deploying assets at sensitive locations. Christopher Brown and Matthew Maher. Well, Brown's from Long Island and Maher's from New York City. Brown has a history of mental illness. Yeah, they often use these as dupes, and had recently made threats to synagogues in the area. Group said groups including the ADL were all revolved in the response. Evan Bernstein, the head of the CSS, the Community Security Trust, Bernstein, in the UK, first picked up on the threat on Twitter and informed his partners in the US. Investigators sent out a security alert, took photos of the suspect from social media, distributed the images to security groups on the ground, and the suspect was apprehended around midnight, Bernstein told the Times of Israel. Here's Christopher Brown. Okay. Congratulations. You've been used as a patty. But what about the other dude? Okay. Perhaps I found just... Oh, look at this. The New York Police Department has confirmed 195 hate crimes between the start of the year and September 30th, representing an attack every 33 hours. They love 33 because it is the 33 vertebrae in our spine, 33 degrees. Blanks are constantly the group most targeted in hate crimes in the city on an annual basis, in per capita and absolute terms. What the fuck does that even mean? $11 people killed in the Tree of Life. That was the rabbi from the Tree of Life. Got in trouble for misappropriating like millions of dollars. Total scammer. And then whenever something like this happens, they get a chance to go through all of every other thing that's ever happened to them. I'm surprised I haven't brought up it's so tiring. It's like the same old. Elon Musk says the people have spoken. Trump will be reinstated. Vox Populi, Vox Dei. He thinks he's God. He's still wearing this satanic ass Halloween costume thing. His wife is all into the occult. He's known for liking sex very violent and rough. And then just going in and impregnating women, having them sign a contract before he does, and then paying them like $1 million. You know what? If I had $1 million to give away to just like a dollar bill, like a tip, I would probably go around just impregnating a bunch of women. I don't know. The vote in was 51.8% to 48.2%. 15 million votes. 134 million people have seen this poll. Dog, he's just doing this just for... Elon Musk did not come to power organically. And Elon Musk is not the savior of the people. He is he restored Kathy Griffin, thank God. Jordan Peterson, who's the biggest shill ever. What should your Twitter do next? You know what he said he was going to do is those who post tweets that are negative or whatever will be down, just like pretty much shadow banned. Twitter is all the news. Really though? God, he's been tweeting a lot. Just because you own the company now doesn't mean that you just get your Twitter fingers. Twitter is less fun. More people commented than more fun. Okay. So as Twitter pursues the goal of elevating citizen journalism, you're really media elite. You're not part of the elite at all, are you? Or the media elite. That sounds anti-Semitic. They will try everything to stop that from happening. This remains to be still up in the air, according to my. Still don't have a prognosis sent out. Here's somebody explaining the Torah. The Torah, chapter 12, rule 10, which states it is blue, sleeps with a non-bluish woman. She is to be killed regardless she's 3 years old.
Segue into another subject matter, and that is
your commandment.
Intermarriage.
Everybody, turn off your phones. Hashem is pissed.
And so on. Abel Yisrael Abel Akusis, a Jew who engages in intimacy with a non-Jewish woman, Ben Ktana Bas Shalosh Shana, whether she is 3 years old, Ben Gdela, or she's an adult woman over 12 or 12 and a half, Ben Pnuya, whether she is available, Ben Eshesish or not, even if he was 9 years old, as we learned earlier again and again, that's the beginning when intimacy has an effect with a man, Kivin Shabbat alakusis bizodain arezunat eges. Then the courts could possibly take her
to this shekeling
and try to
shekel for them shekels.
Capital punishment if there are witnesses, etc., who warned them because the Jew ran into a problem due to this encounter. This is specified in the Torah, as it says with the Midianites, that these girls were sent out by the Midianite leaders to entrap the Jewish young men, as it says in the biblical story of Bilam.
Balaam, is that the talking donkey? Sick as shit. Justifying the most horrible stuff. Which says that if one from the seed of Abraham sleeps with a non, the woman, she is to be killed regardless if she was 3 years old. Levi says, an adult woman over 12 and 12 and a half. Yeah, that's not adult. Paper Jesus says, will Donald Trump tweet again? Sounds like a song. Will Trump ever tweet again? Musk says Trump to be reinstated on Twitter. He is, but he hasn't tweeted yet. That guy, Donnie Darko, who does videos, says that Trump made the announcement like 666 days after something important. I mean, I'm pretty sure Trump knows. He was raised by Cohen, Donnie Dark, and The Rise, The Wound, and the Return of Donald Trump, a case for the biblical Antichrist. I think they are kind of setting him up to be the Antichrist. Okay. From and including Tuesday, January 19th to the 15th. 666 days from the start date to the end date. End date of what, though? Trump threatens to reveal unflattering information about DeSantis if he runs. Dog, I live in Florida, and these people love DeSantis. I think, from what I've talked to, they like him even more than Trump. Q drops. They're still doing Q drops. I think even Donnie Darko knows that Q is total, stupid. The infamous Q returned to make a post yesterday telling people to participate in the theatrical charade known as voting. Donnie is right on that. Voting is not, nor has ever been, a legitimate procedure of electing government officials. See, I do be agreeing with Donnie Darkin on stuff, but only so much. I mean, he believes that there is like a Jesus. 88 is so important. 8 is 16. 16. I'm not going to go into gematria right now because I have whole videos on it, but look at Trump speaking at the pulpit. God, they do be using it's almost free. Yeah, here's Elon Musk's. He's wearing the goat head on his chest with the upside down cross on its, just making fun. Just rubbing in our face. Elon is Elion Musk, stench of hail. Here's where Donnie loses me. Remember that Satan may not do as he pleases. He can only do what God allows him to do. What the fuck? All things have been written since the beginning. God is sovereign over his creation, and his will shall be fulfilled as it is written in the Holy Bible. A Jewish book, Donnie. Okay. Here's a thread about the false light agenda, from darkness to light. My friends, I'd like to bring you to sometimes my sisters played in the Ivy League girls volleyball championship tonight against Yale. The Yale Hebrew words on their coat of arms. The Urim and the Thummim. In the Hebrew Bible, this relates, I know, and you won't find this anywhere else because only your boy be going deep. The Urim and the Thummim. The Yale University coat of arms, the primary emblem of Yale University, and it has Hebrew letters on it, where we get the skull and crossbones from, who every CIA director has been a part of, John Kerry, George Bush. And I'm going to break this down for you right quick. The Urim means like like aura, or gold or light. Urim, im means like of, like children, im. So Urim, lights, and Thummim, meaning uncertain. The meaning is uncertain. It's not. They want you to think it's uncertain. Possibly perfections. It's the book of life. Those of the light and those of the dark. Children of the light and children of the dark. Children of the book of life, children of the book of death. And there is a big... See, there's on one side the book of life, on the other side the book of death. Life and death on the right and left. They invert shit all the time. Light and veritas, and virility or truth. Our Ivy League schools are totally run by occultists and mostly from the tribes. They have a new emblem. So here's the 8 going to the 8, the octagon, the 8-pointed star of Isis. Here's the 8, the Ivy League emblem. And it's like we have 4 on the left, 4 on the right. The right is lower than the left. I mean, there's a lot to bring through that. So, on the rod of 322, 322 equals 7. What equal? 8's above the 7. 7's order, and 8's above the order. So, you can rule it. 8's the number of Saturn. So, the Ivy League on the Ivy on the rod of God. Which God? Thyrsus was a wand or staff of giant fennel. Fennel is what a stalk that the light thief, the fire thief, Prometheus, stole the fire from the gods and hid it in a hollowed out fennel, which is your spine, covered with ivy vines and leaves. And the ivy vines are likened to the serpent that's going up the spine. The Greek god Dionysus held it. The Greek alphabet and the Hebrew alphabet are pretty much the same. A symbol of prosperity, fertility, and hedonism. I think it got manipulated later. But in the Bacchic rituals, they used it. Which is why they have the Greek schools for the Goyim. But they're using the Hebrew letters My sisters go to Brown University, and besides Asians, but they had to cut back on Asians. They try to bring in minorities, but the biggest group is the sons of Avraham. Sue. A blank amulet from 1500s Prague depicts the chosen breastplate with a pentagram inside a hexagram. You know what? Tulum, Dalum, and Valum, or Urim versus Tumim, that's also likened to the breastplate, the jewels on the breastplate of the high priest, which was culture vultured from the Babylonians, the priest of Marduk. Assyriologist William Muss Arnold connected the singular forms of they even said Abraham's from and Tum, with the Babylonian terms Urtu and Tamitu, or Tammuz, meaning oracle and command, respectively. They used this to cast lots. It was like a yes or no. You ask a question, and then you throw out the lots, and then get a yes or no answer to it, or come again later. According to this theory, the Hebrew words used as pluralis intensivus to enhance their apparent majesty, not to indicate the presence of more than one. Along these lines, the Urim and the Thummim are hypothesized to derive from the tablets of destiny worn by Marduk on his breast, according to Babylonian religion, which predates Judaism. Just another example of these religious Abrahamites culture vulturing from Babylon as they culture vultured from Egypt, largely. And then how they use it for claromancy. And they tell you not to divinize. And here they are throughout the whole Bible doing exactly that. Even at the Kaaba in Mecca, where the guardians would randomly pull one of the arrow shafts out of a container, and the word written upon it was said to indicate the will of the god concerning the matter in questions. This practice is called rhabdomancy. The Greek roots rhabd, rod, and mancy, divinization. So, and then this is also relating to how Joseph Smith, which comes from a line of Freemasons, Masons of the Temple of Solomon, in his Latter-day Saint movement, he used interpreters to translate the Book of Mormon from the golden plates and from the angel Moroni, and that it was the Urim and the Thummim, the two stones and silver bows fastened to a breastplate that they used to divinize. This is just fucking crazy. Alright, we're taking a break. Bathroom break. We're going to play a song in the meanwhile, and we'll be back. Here's Isis and Nephthys. My favorite. Comment. I'll read your comments when I get back. Bring back the ancient mysteries of anything else besides solely the Hebrew ones. Freemasonry, they bring you through the mysteries of Isis. The hexagram is two superimposed equilateral triangles, similar to stock exchange up and down symbols, as above, so below. Yep. The 8-pointed star represents the 8-year cycle of Venus. In numerology, 6 is related to Venus, but Venus and Saturn have a relationship. Venus, the goddess, the 8-pointed star is related to Ishtar, Astarte, Venus. And so is the 5-pointed star, because our 5 senses, Venus gives us that. But then the number 5 is related to Mercury, actually, the trickster. The ancient Egyptian used the pentagram to represent the little month, or the 5 upon the year. Yeah, the 365 out of the 360, which was the 5 days at the end of the 360-day year to keep with the heliacal rising of Sirius. They do Sirius. The sun's conjunct Sirius on July 4th in 1776 when our country was founded. America is a Cancer. Sacred scarab. Sue, you are freaking brilliant. I'm going to start following you. You make videos, boo? Let's check out Sue Wagner's page. Wagner. We do love Wagner. The Call to Valkyries. There's a Susan Lynn Wagner, American financial executive. One of the co-founders of BlackRock. Oh, shit. I wish you were that, Susan Wagner. It would be great to have you on my side. If you're the co-founder of BlackRock, you're definitely in the skull and bones. But a female, huh? Might be in the Eastern Rite. Yeah, I wish you were that, Sue Wagner. Whatever. I like you better than that, Sue Wagner. But if you were the BlackRock Sue Wagner, I'd say, click on the donation link. I'm trying to start. Oh, I lost my camera. The Aquarian Temple Church, where I teach on the Gnostic teachings, where we learn the allegorical, metaphorical teachings, and how lots of this is astral myth, astral mythology, astrotheology, got to be taken literally, so that we don't cast off a whole 99% of the population as the goyim, as the children of darkness that need to be eradicated. Thanks. That'd be great. So, I did just go through and explain why the Ivy League is what the Ivy League is. You won't get that from many other places. I do want to learn more about the Thyrsos. Sometimes wound with a tinea, topped with a pine cone or an artichoke, which is the pineal gland, the pine cone. Thyrsus. I want to go into, yeah, it's obviously, he it was that drove the nursing women who were in charge of frenzied Bacchus through the land of Nysa, and they flung their Thyrsi on the ground as murderous Lycurgus beat them with his ox goad. The ox goad and the goat prod is where we get the name like God from, I think, even. God, I have so much to learn still. In Wolfgang, in Goetz, Faust, and Mephistopheles, which they, they sing out loud at the Bohemian Grove. A Bakken holding it. Damn, I like that. Saving that image. Yeah, look how beautiful. I did say that I was going to talk about the CJB Adam Green thing. And I don't want to talk about it that much, but to only just say, because I don't want to be like a gossiping schoolgirl or schoolboy, is that pretty much a CJB just went mental. And he's done it before. Here he is with no beard. Talking about the schmovid thing. And so I think Adam gives him credit whenever. And lots of people sticking up for Adam. I mean, Adam has always credited CJB as the all-time greatest exposer of Schmionism. I mean, what else do you want? So yeah, he's totally off his rocker. The thrisis and the thrombus. Thank you, Levi. Levi knows everything, turns out. I mean, nobody has promoted him or anything more. So that's just so sad. No. Trump's January. So here is Ben Shapiro. Little Benny can't bring himself to say Israel did anything wrong.
Virtually all. Many of the dumb things. The ability.
Can you empathize with the plight of Palestinian people?
Absolutely. I mean, I some of the uglier things that I've ever said in my career are things that I said very early on when I was 17, 18, 19. I started writing a syndicated comment when I was 17. I'm now 38. So virtually all the dumb things, I'd say virtually all, many of the dumb things, the plurality of the dumb things that I've said came from the ages of, I would say, 17 to maybe 23.
Yeah.
And they are rooted, again, in sloppy thinking. I feel terrible for people who have lived under the thumb and currently live under the thumb of Hamas, which is an actual terrorist group, or the Palestinian Authority, which is a corrupt oligarchy that
they're living under the thumb of Israel. Fucking A.
steals money from its people and leaves them
Steals land from them.
in misery, or Islamic Jihad, which is an actual terrorist group.
Oh, well, they're moderate rebels when we fucking train them and fund them and create them.
And the basic rule for the region, in my view, is if these groups were willing to make peace with Israel, they would have a state.
Israel doesn't want peace. They want greater Yisrael. I lost my lighter. Hang on. This is so ingenuous. Where I have to smoke a cigarette just to fucking get through the rest of this. Gosh, I try not to hate anybody. Dog, even in my spiritual practices, they teach not to get angry. Whoa, this guy makes it hard.
Literally tomorrow. And if they are not, then there will be no peace. And it really is that simple. If Israel, the formula that's typically used has become a bit of a bumper sticker, but it happens to be factually correct. If the Palestinians put down their guns tomorrow, there would be a state. If the Israelis put down their guns, there would be no Israel.
That is straight. They teach them to say that. It's funny how it's not funny, but they all have the same go-to things to say. It's the most ancient hate. That is such. They think they have a monopoly. Not only do they have a monopoly on many things, but suffering as well. That's why black people they have been given a little bit more clearance to speak up against others because of their plight and their suffering. But you can't compare it to the Shoah. Jon Stewart recently came out and seemingly, well, Jon Stewart, whose real last name is not Stewart, him and Jerry Seinfeld speak out on Dave Chappelle's SNL monologue. Great. And listen to what freaking Jon Stewart. I don't even want to listen to what he says because I totally can't fucking stand this lying son of a bit. I'm called anti-Shemitic because I'm against Israel's treatment of Palestinians, he said. Who? Who's your person should be? So I'm going to read it. Jon Stewart joined The Daily Show speaking trainedly. He acknowledged his lifelong friendship with Chappelle before noting that he doesn't think censorship is the way to help people with hostile views to learn and grow. First of all, they promote it. Yeah, the one-uppers for everything. Speaking plainly, but comedy is reductive. We play with tropes because everyone has prejudices in their lives and the way they view things. Comics rely on those prejudices as a shorthand for our material. Even the wokest of comics play with tropes to a certain extent. Yeah, white people is the most common. He proposed that anti-Semitism should be dealt with in a straightforward manner, or, quote, we will never gain any kind of understanding with each other. Dave said something in the SNL monologue that I thought was constructive, which he says, blank, quote, it shouldn't be this hard to talk about things, quote. Yeah. He continued, look, I can't pretend that there aren't a shit ton of people in this country, in this world, who believe that the Jews have an unreasonable amount of control over their systems. He can't pretend that there aren't people that believe this. He's called who's ever called him anti-Semitic? Because he's against Israel's treatment of Palestinians? That's a controversial thing to say. I did think the comedy was well executed. Yeah, totally meaningless. Okay, so Jon Stewart, who people are saying, yeah, they're backing him. Like, oh yeah, Jon Stewart is reaching out for freedom of speech, and that's good and healthy. Well, here's the problem with John Leibowitz, quoted in a show saying, black people should hate white people. We ruin everything. We're dicks, unquote. Jon Stewart, identifying as a white person. But then in another night and another show, Jews and blacks shouldn't fight. Jews and blacks should get together and get whitey. See how now he's all of a sudden not white? Fucking chameleon, lying, ingenuous bastard. Fuck Jon Stewart for being that those actions of Jon Stewart. Born John Leibowitz. You see the problem here? Alright, I don't see any comments, so perhaps my show has been terminated, which it's only going to be a matter of time before that happens. So, in the meanwhile, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, and I would love you all very much. Keep up the good fight. We'll have to stay clued into this story, especially Matt Maher. The last name Maher reminds me of Bill Maher, who Maher last name. Oh, it's Pakistani or an Irish surname. Is it Mar? Is it from this? Is Mar a Jewish name? I assume you're probably referring to Bill Maher, who's not identified as Jewish, but he has. Look at, they're saying that Bill Maher doesn't identify as Jewish. He has standing applauses for Netanyahu every other month. Mar Shalal Hashbaz means hurry to the spoils. Or he has made haste to the plunder. Oh my god, that's just horrible. Maher means quickly. Salal loots. Has, he hurries. Baz, prey, spoils. God, we're so fucked. I will not end this stream on a bad note. Let us go back to how we decoded what the Ivy League is named after. Some said that because it started out with 4 schools and the I and the V is the Roman numeral for 4, and that's just bullshit. Where the 4 signs of light and the 4 of darkness. The Ogdode in ancient Egypt. If I could go back to school, I would have tried to be more of a crypto. Played by their system to break it down from the inside. Oh, hey, Soul Trip's in the house. Thanks for tuning in. You came in a little bit late, and I am running out of gasolina. Dare mana gasolina. Yeah, the Ivy League is just totally fucked. But if I could go back in time, if I can turn back the hands of time, it's total fucking secret society ruled shit. And look, they have these books on all their coats. I know. Hold on a sec. You can't really see it. On all. Hang in there, my little love bugs. Because I want you to be able to look at. They have a book open. On one side would be light, on the other darkness. Here's the books. Open to the middle. Book open. Book open. Book open. They have this. The book of life and the book of death. The sons of light, the sons of darkness. And the goyim are the shards. Yeah, CJB went fucking mental. He's like Mensa smart. But he's just, there's a reason why he's a recluse. because he doesn't know how to deal with other people. That's why he surrounds himself with books who are his friends. But I mean, good for that, because he was able to break through. Would we found this out without John Bjertness? Probably. Just take any. We just happen to find him as somebody hip to Kabbalah. I probably would have found it out without his help. Sorry. I know. I haven't even bought his books, and I should, but I've been studying. Right now, I'm studying the Hebrew alphabet. And they all have numeric values and a place on the Sephirot, on the Tree of Life, and a path on it. So, I mean, thank you, CJB, for helping to point the way, perhaps. What if I found it without you? Who's to say? Do I need to lick the soles of your boots every time I go and talk about the same subject that you've addressed before? And there's lots of shit I don't agree with CJB on, namely his panic attack about needing to get the shots, and his Ukraine stance is also pretty weird. That being said, I hope he comes to a place of peace, shalom. Yeah, Adam tells the story. Yeah, I feel like Christopher, his books would just be pounding the sand. Like, it's like there's a seed there, and then he's turning a seed into a. How do you write a whole book about that? And some of the stuff is just, if you want to learn Kabbalah, go learn from the Kabbalah teachers and the Gnostic teachers. Christopher John Bjertness is just an outsider putting it together, and he's done a pretty good job, but I go find it straight from the horse's mouth, from the tzaddik, the hadessim, the Kabbalists, Masons even. And with the internet, we've been able to really find out the secret teachings and share them. And that is a threat to the holders of the light, the Illuminati, a total construction from our favorite people of question. Yeah, so the fact that we have Hebrew letters on the seal of Yale, which, I mean, you could Harvard and then look at the similar symbolism in Harvard. Yale and Harvard are the schools. It's Columbia, Cornell, Dartmouth, Brown. They get a second place. And I know I'm missing a couple others. Which one am I missing? Oh, and my sisters go to the school, Yale, Princeton, Penn. I always forget that Penn State is one. My sisters go to this school, 25% of the population is at least gay. When I went to school, 2% were maybe gay, which I don't like to identify people by their sexual preference, but I'll play their game. They, now 25%, at least they say. At this rate, that's just a 20, not even a 20-year difference. It went from 2% to 25%. At that rate, in 100 years, they're all going to be gay. In Freemasonry, they ascend Yaakov's ladder, yeah. Yaakov. And then, Yaakov, 7 rings on the ladder. So after they tore down Joachim and Boaz, the two, World Trade Tower 1 and 2, they had to take down World Trade Tower 7, which is burning down the ladder so no one else could climb up it. Another sad as fuck thing. I don't want to end this on that. Well, it's good that we are learning this, right? So that's good. So may the God of justice, truth, veritas, lux et veritas be with us. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning into this stream. And I promise I'm going to start doing this more. I really do. Thank you, Wake Movement. Look at my lit-ass line. That is the seal of Saturn. It's not owned. I'm reclaiming it. That's a very powerful sign. The two X's, the Dos Equis, the 1010, the 20. The 1010, the 20, the 20 is equals, multiplied is 400. It's the Tav, which is the 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is the seal. The mark. It could be the seal of wisdom, or it could be the mark of the beast. Love you, Levi. Love you, Soul Trip. May the light of Ra be upon thee. May the sacred scarab continue to light the path of Albert and I forget his name. It's late. And Adam Green. And may the peace of the sacred scarab come and ascend upon the forehead of CJB so he stops being so mental. Oh, it is a great mitzvah that I hit 700 subscribers on the Wake Movement today. God. We need to redefine our notion of God and salvage it if we can. May the salvagation be upon us. Night. Love you, Soul Trip. Night. Love you, Levi. Love you, everybody. Love you, Sue.